That's pretty close. Happy May of 2024. We're at a familiar place, though you might not remember it well because we haven't been here very much. All those ridiculous health problems that I had kept me away from the test facility for a long time. On top of that, just to add insult to injury, in December of last year we had a terrible storm and it uprooted hundreds of trees. Hundreds, if not thousands, just on my property alone. It was a mess, but we're this close to getting it opened back up again. For matter of fact, a lot of it's already ready to go. Now, we're on the pistol range and the submachine gun range, which again you may find familiar, but this isn't quite ready to use yet. Let me show you why. You may notice on the left-hand side some widowmakers. I've got, of all the trees that didn't fall, I've got several that are still in the process. So right here alone, we've got 3 or 4 healthy pines. Great big eastern white pines, and they're all resting. They've been uprooted. The whole root ball came up. They're resting on one healthy tree, which if you can do math, you know as well as I do, they're all coming down at some point. So hanging out underneath them in the meantime, probably not a good idea. So as you can see, not quite ready for prime time down there. That's the bad news. The good news is the rifle range is ready to roll. It was a mess too, but we opened it up. It really opened it up. A decade's worth of encroachment and growth. Let me take you over there and show you what that looks like. As you can see off to the left, actually you look in any direction, man, trees were blown down everywhere. Mostly across the range because we had a nice wide open spot. And there are these 6 to 8 foot tall mud balls all over the woods now where the trees were uprooted and just knocked over. We did get this cleaned off though with the help of a few terrific friends, and look how pretty this is now. It's nice and wide. We pushed back with a woods mower for about 20 yards on both sides, so easily we've got 100-yard targets, 200-yard targets, 300-yard targets, 400-yard targets. Can see everything nice and clear finally. So if you think back to one of the last projects that we worked on, and this is going to go back a year, 2 years before I got sick and all that foolishness went on, we were testing the Toxic Arms rifle that they had put together for me, along with a primary arms sight and the OneLeaf AI night sight. It's digital night vision, and the beauty of this stuff, well, there are a few things that I like about it. One of them is that it is a quick detach system, so you can use the device as a standalone binocular, or you can utilize it with your sight, whatever you like for a sight. Now that's a night sight, or a day sight with digital video and photography capability. And that's where we were. We did a little bit of initial impression testing, shot a little bit of footage during the day, and that was it. I got sick and went down for the count, and here we are picking things back up again. So I thought today I'd try to do a couple things. Number one, the footage that it shoots, the video footage during the day is phenomenal. Something that took me by surprise. I didn't really expect it. I could see it being terrific for target shooting, for hunting, as a shot camera. I mean, there are all kinds of uses for this thing, and it's just so clear and vivid, again, compared to what I thought it was going to be, that I thought we'd shoot a few targets. Well, obviously it's not night. It's still nice and bright out. And I put a couple of the FireBird detonating targets downrange, set up at 100 yards. I don't have any idea where the sight-in is on this, because I think we shot it at 35 yards or something last time. But I've got some newly painted, fresh AR-500 steel targets, and we'll see if we can walk some of them right in to those FireBird targets and see not only what it looks like from this perspective, but from the scope itself. Let's give it a try. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. So I have a little bit of time before it gets dark, so we can work with the OneLeaf a little bit in low light. And just happened to have a pair of my favorite range pistols with me. I've got a Glock 17, actually a fairly heavily customized Glock 17, with a silencer called Osprey 9mm, and I've also got a bone stock Glock 21 with a silencer called Osprey and 45 ACP. So while I'm waiting, I'm going to run a couple rounds downrange. Good stuff. I think that's the first time that Glock 17 ever malfunctioned. But the rest of it feels pretty good, just like riding a bike. This is the Glock 21. The subsonic rounds, I like the 45 just because all the ammo is subsonic, and man, can you hear the contrast between the report from the muzzle and when it hits that steel. Man, oh man. Oh, that one jammed on me too. Evidently, I just need more practice. More trigger time. Beautiful thing. I don't understand that. Man, I watch a lot of YouTube and nobody else's guns ever jam or malfunction. I must be the only one. Maybe if I cleaned my things once in a while, it would be helpful. Maybe. Who knows? All right. I have no idea how this is going to work on camera because it's pretty dark and my regular cameras keep telling me my lens cover is closed. So I'm going to fire up the scope, hope that I read enough of the instructions to be able to get it to record, and let's see if it looks any better than what we have for light. All right, so this is with no assistance, no extra light. Let me see if I can make that reticle so it's a little, I think that's as dark as it gets. Oh yeah, okay. That was on the night vision setting. All right, let's go for the steel plate, orange plate with a white dot. No problem. All right, let's add some light to it. The light source on the scope itself. Let's see if that brightens things up any. And I'm going to bring it back a little bit. Okay. There we go. I'm going to try to figure out, okay, infrared. All right, let's go for the popper. Then for the other silhouette, the other steel.com target. Awesome. Awesome. All right. That shows me just how well this thing does in the dark. And it's amazing how it takes such nice photos even during the day to use for something I didn't even consider it being used for, as a shot cam. How cool is that? So I got an email from the company that makes these, from OneLeaf, from OneLeaf, just a couple days ago, and they have a brand new scope that came out, well, brand new, 6 months ago, but my range was frozen. It was lock solid. There was nothing I could do to get in here, and my health wasn't quite back where it belonged anyway. But the email I got from them a couple days ago, they asked if I was going to be able to test it soon, and I said yes. Your timing couldn't be better. And I told them I wanted to finish this one first, the NV100 series, since we started that long ago. And then I would introduce the new one. I think it's called the 400. I'll put some stills up on the screen of the packaging. If you're impressed with this thing, and I am, one of my biggest concerns with this was going to be whether it was recoil sensitive or not, because the research I did showed a lot of people using it, but on air guns and a big market in Europe. But I've been running this now for a few years, not a lot obviously, but you know, I've probably got 200 rounds through it at this point, and it's proven not to be recoil sensitive at all, at least on a 223. They told me their new sight, which is not a clip-on, it's an actual scope, and this thing's got all kinds of extra features in it. A rangefinder, and a night scope, digital night vision, 4K recording, and it's all in one package. It's just a scope. It's a great big scope. So there's nothing to clip on. There's nothing extra or additional to use. It's just a scope, and if it performs like this thing does, this NV100, it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to continue to use this. I'm really impressed with it for all around, for all the things it does. But I'll also introduce the new one here very soon. And in their email, they mentioned that they're going to be having a 15% sale, 15% off sale until to celebrate Father's Day. It goes to the middle of June. I'll post the information in that below the video. Thanks so much for your patience. I'm ready for the long hair hippie jokes anytime. It's nice to be coming back. I hope to see you a lot more. And check this stuff out. It's really pretty cool. If you want to talk about guns, we can do that on Facebook at facebook.com/guntestvids. And check out our merch. We have some really cool merch that the Bunker Branding folks are making for us. And that link will be in the description as well. Till next time, have fun and be safe. Sure is nice to see you again.